To have this conversation with us this morning is Mr. Matthew Oluko. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So this appointment happened just towards the end of last week, and it's been trending over the mainstream media and of course on social media. Nigerians are keypad warriors, have been typing away and saying a lot of things. There is a lot of controversies surrounding the appointment, one of which, of course, obviously, is the fact that, based on the stipulations for the appointment of a chairman for EFCC, this individual really doesn't get, up to the requirements. And then so many other questions around his personality and all that. But first, I'd like to get your view on, these appointments by the president.
Once again, thank you for having me. I think it all borders on point of law. It's not about my personal opinion. It's about what the law say about it. Because you have the act establishing EFCC, and the relevant sections determine who should occupy the position of the chairman and all that. But if you look at this section 2, subsection 3 of the act, that says that the person that will be appointed into the office must be somebody who have worked in any of security agencies before, either currently, either in active service or who have retired, not below the rank of an assistant commissioner of police. If you are looking at whether the current person who is being appointed has worked in such an organization, I will tell you yes, he have. Because if you go and look at section 2, subsection 2 of ESC Act, it recognizes the secretary of the commission as a permanent member of the commission. Of course, if you go through that act, you understand that it's just the chairman and the secretary that are permanent members of the board. Other members are part-time members. So to that extent, I think he satisfied that condition. But the other area that talk about 15 years cognate experience, that I cannot holistically say whether he's qualified or not, because in that capacity, his capacity as the secretary of the commission, he served between 2018 and 2020. While he served as the chief of staff to the former acting chairman, it was between 2016 and 2018. And you cannot use his position as chief of staff to the acting chairman as to mean that he was a member of the commission. You can only say while he was the secretary of the commission that he was a member, he have served as a member of a Nigerian security agency. Then again, looking at his rank, you want to measure his rank. I think if you look at the position of the secretary, he served as the administrative head of the commission. And if you look at what happens in other federal government agencies or maybe paramilitary police, in the police particularly, the person serving in that capacity is a deputy inspector general. So to that extent, I think you can say he occupied, his rank, when you're talking of equivalent, is more than that of deputy commissioner of police.
But is it recognized as an equivalent?
No, the constitution says equivalent. When you are looking at equivalent, there are so many measures in arriving at what is equivalent of this. Because it's not a crime to have read law or to have built career in another area of life. But again, the area of 15 years cognizant experience, I don't know, I doubt whether you can use his experience outside the commission to add up to make up the 15 years.
All right. I really appreciate the fact where you came from, especially looking at it from not being your own perspective, but from the angle of what the law says, which of course is one of the factors that sometimes determines how a nation is developed. I mean, when it comes to the rule of law. This individual who is going to succeed or is set to now succeed Magu already has quite interesting experience, especially looking at it from his legal practitioner. He has had 22 years as someone who has worked in the legal profession. And of course, other areas like fraud management and of course, corporate intelligence. But looking at it from the rule of law, like you said, Section 2, subsection 3 of the EFCC Act as at 2005 states that the president, Bola Tinubu, has the right to either remove or replace an individual, especially when indicted on misconduct. Now we're looking at Magu, someone who is going to succeed him. The person who will succeed him doesn't have any requisite experience when it comes to security issues. So how does he, in a way, be viewed as somebody who will be fixed as a square peg in the square hole?
The experience you are looking at, what we are looking at is, one, for you to garner experience, you must have worked in a security agency. And we are saying that the Constitution or the Act establishing EFCC recognizes the Secretary of the Commission as a member of the Commission. So to that extent, if you have served in the capacity of Secretary for 15 years, the argument of whether he's qualified on that basis will not come in at all.
Being a secretary, yes, I know, but not. It's just like saying that someone worked in the hospital, for instance, perhaps, maybe as a nurse. Does the person qualify to be a doctor? Even if the person had worked in that capacity?
You are not getting my point. My point is, what does the law say about it? What makes you a member of a police force, for instance? What makes you a member of a drug law enforcement agency? These are point of law. The Act is telling you that Section 2, subsection 2 of the Act established EFCC say that the Secretary of the Commission is a permanent member of the Commission. Not just that, that Act recognizes the chairman and the secretary as the only permanent members. Other members are on part-time basis. So to that extent, you cannot say you have not served in EFCC as a member of EFCC. The only argument is the 15 years cognitive experience. Can you now add up his experience outside EFCC to make up the 15 years cognitive experience? I think that is where I'm not very confident that it can apply. So
that means we need some explanation as regards that, isn't it? Especially looking at it from that act.
No, but people argue that his experience, 15-year cognitive experience, you can add up whatever experience he got outside EFCC, that there is no law that says the 15-year cognitive experience must be within EFCC. That's what I'm saying, except we need a court to give us interpretation of that, because we are seeing argument for and against when it comes to that.
Okay.
All right, so the same goes for the NDDC board chairman appointment as well. The same reactions that trailed the appointment of the EFCC chairman is still trailing the appointment of the NDDC board. Now, analysts have said that the president might not have also, told the line of the law, and while looking at these people's qualification, what makes them qualified to sit in that office as chairman, that the president might not have checked out the requirements and if they are up to date. I don't know if you're familiar with that conversation, especially when it has to do with the NDC's chairman. How do you react?
I'm aware that NDC was established in 2000 by the former president Olukoyede as an intervention agency. I'm equally aware that because of controversy that have trailed who becomes the chairman, it has been designed in such a way that it will be rotated among the member states, the Niger Delta states. What qualifies one to be the chairman? I don't think the constitution so much restricts it, but I'm aware that the current chairman has been appointed by Mr. President, was one time secretary to Delta State government. I'm aware he's equally a lawyer. So I don't think, as long as, because the nature of NDDC, once you appoint members from each and every state, you have the chairman and all that, director of project and all that, I don't think there is any particular section of the Act establishing it that prohibits a person who is a Nigerian has the required all the certificates that one needs to have. I don't think there's anything that tied the hand of Mr. President from appointing such person.